Under the conditions of the old-school 19th century wars, any company of soldiers could feel safe simply by moving a couple of 100 meters away from musket fire. This worked perfectly until the 1900s, when the world heard about snipers. Virtuoso marksmen, whose presence on the battlefield was only discovered after losing a soldier. They drove the enemy mad with their relentlessness and suddenness. They opposed the icy calm to the frenzy of close combat and turned the previously known pre-war tactics upside down. And designers and technicians helped them in this. And by the 21st century, they brought sniper rifles to perfection. Today, a sniper can go out alone against a tank or a helicopter, and, as you might guess, size matters. If you've seen the movie Shooter, you probably remember the scene at the beginning, where the main character, Bob, trying to avenge his friend's death, uses several shots to send a military helicopter straight into a vertical cliff. He manages to do this with the help of the famous American semi-automatic rifle, the Barrett M82. The brainchild of former law enforcement officer Ronnie Barrett was intended for detonating ammunition and countering lightly armored vehicles, such as tanks and cars, as well as aircraft. So the power of the rifle was not exaggerated by the screenwriters of Shooter at all. However, throughout the film, Bob later uses a CheyTac Intervention M200, which we will also talk about today, but there he has completely different goals. Let's return to the Barrett 82. All rifles from this company were developed for the 12.7 by 99 mm cartridge previously used in the Browning M2 machine gun. The effective firing range of the 82 model reaches 1,800 meters, and accuracy is up to 1.5 to 2 minutes of angle, MOA. American troops used these rifles in combat in Kuwait and Iraq as part of Operations Desert Storm and Desert Shield in the early 90s. Although their most famous achievements date back to the 2000s and, despite the anti-materiel class of the rifle, are associated with countering enemy infantry, the longest-range shot was made by Canadian Corporal Rob Furlong in 2002. As part of Operation Anaconda, he eliminated a Taliban fighter from a distance of 2,430 meters. Sergeant Steve Reichert added to Barrett's impressive list of merits by eliminating 3 Iraqi insurgents who were hiding behind a brick wall at a distance of 1,600 meters from the shooter. Barrett 82 is especially respected in the state of Tennessee. Well, why not? It's a quite brutal symbol of the region. This model has become extremely popular in movies and video games like Call of Duty and Point Blank. Gamers strive to get this weapon at any cost, as it easily destroys everything around, which a regular sniper rifle doesn't allow them to do. Film screenwriters also acknowledge it. Besides the mentioned Shooter, the Barrett 82 appeared in the 4th Rambo in the hands of a schoolboy and in the hands of mercenary Charisse Waters in Aces. In the latter, by the way, FBI agents hit by the Barrett are unrealistically thrown back several meters and tumble in the air. Thus, the creators of the film wanted to convey the high kinetic energy of the bullets. Just like the Barrett 82, the Austrian Steyr IWS 2000 was not originally intended for use against people. Using its power for this purpose is roughly the same as shooting sparrows with a cannon. Judge for yourself. A special 15.2 by 207 mm Steyr APFSDS armor-piercing fin-stabilized discarding sabot cartridge was developed for this rifle. The muzzle energy of a shot reaches 36 kilojoules, and armor penetration is estimated at 42 millimeters. The technical characteristics of the Steyr allow it to engage lightly armored and unarmored targets, vehicles, and ammunition depots at distances up to 2,000 meters. Strictly speaking, this model should be called a sniper gun, despite the seeming absurdity of such a characteristic. The fact is that the weapon's barrel is completely smooth, so it shouldn't be called a rifle, even considering its high accuracy and engagement range. However, terminology subtleties do not prevent the Steyr IWS 2000 from being considered one of the most powerful in the world. Today, only a few owners can appreciate the advantages of the rifle. It was never adopted into service, as its ammunition is simply too expensive. Of course, Steyr is ordered in small quantities, but like any self-respecting company, the Austrians do not disclose information about buyers, although it is said that the U.S. Army purchased several IWS 2000s, and they even managed to appear in military operations. People say about the American weapons company Anzio Ironworks that they're crazy. The opinion is of course subjective, but one thing must be acknowledged. In their family of large-caliber sniper rifles, these guys have created real monsters, simply because they can. One of them is the Anzio Takedown Rifle. The barrel length of this anti-materiel rifle is 1,270 millimeters. Weight over 17 kilograms. You definitely can't hide it in your pocket. However, the target can be up to 3 kilometers away from the shooter, and that still won't save it. Owners of the Anzio Takedown Rifle know the value of a quality shot. Such a weapon assumes a single-shot action. It needs to be reloaded manually, and the maximum number of rounds carried does not exceed 3, so it's better to hit the target on the first try. Especially since an innovative 20x optical sight facilitates this, allowing you to eliminate even covered targets that were unreachable for previous models. Besides 20 by 102 mm cartridges, the Anzio Takedown Rifle functions perfectly with Soviet 14.5 by 114 mm rounds. But it is good not only for its versatility and the types of ammunition used, but also for its high muzzle velocity of up to 1 kilometer per second. And with a bullet mass of 101 grams, the muzzle energy equals 57.53 kilojoules. This is quite enough to engage both ground and aerial targets. Naturally, large caliber attracts not only American gunsmiths. The South African Defense Force has been using the Mechem NTW-20 rifle created by the Aerotech firm for 20 years. The brainchild of designer Tony Neophytou, created on the basis of an anti-tank rifle, is intended for countering enemy snipers at long distances and destroying missile complexes, satellite antennas, aircraft on parking aprons, radar stations, and lightly armored vehicles. Furthermore, the Mechem NTW-20 solves tasks of demining unexploded aerial bombs. The shooter eliminates the fuse, thereby making life easier for sappers. The rifle kit includes 2 interchangeable barrels. The first is for firing 20 by 83.5 mm cartridges, muzzle energy 29.03 kilojoules. The second is for firing 14.5 by 114 mm projectiles. Its creators added it to the kit to increase the firing range. Swapping one barrel for another happens without special tools and takes no more than a minute. Tony Neophytou perfectly understood that the rifle's power would come at the cost of high recoil and tried to minimize the load on the sniper by using additional shock absorbers and dampeners. But even with such systems, the shooter needs several seconds to recover. So if you want to try this weapon, we advise thinking thrice about whether you are even worthy of it. Moving on to the CheyTac M200 Intervention, the only weapon in our selection that is not purely anti-materiel. This rifle was created to defeat soft targets, as the American English calls enemy personnel. This is also the reason for the rifle's fantastic accuracy. At a distance of over 2,000 meters, it is less than 1 minute of angle, or MOA. Like many sniper rifles, the M200 has a manual bolt action with a longitudinally sliding, rotating bolt. Such weapons are traditionally considered more accurate than automatic and semi-automatic rifles. Specifically for the rifle's purpose, the 408 CheyTac cartridge was developed with a nominal caliber of 10 millimeters. Its muzzle energy reaches 113,500 joules. The CheyTac M200 is much more practical than the previous monsters. It's twice as light as the same Mechem and allows for up to 20 rounds per minute. However, it costs accordingly. For one of the best achievements of American designers, you will have to shell out about $50,000. However, you can test it not only in real life. Using the CheyTac M200, shooting enthusiasts confront enemies in the computer games Call of Duty and Crossfire. And it also became the main weapon of revenge for Bob from the movie Shooter, which we already mentioned today.
Now for a very exotic weapon that is not in service in any country today due to its high recoil and potential danger of injuring the shooter after the very first shot. The founder of SSK Industries, gunsmith J.D. Jones from the USA, developed a rifle cartridge, the JDJ .950, caliber 24 by 75 millimeters. According to international classification, it should be considered more of a shell, and the rifle specially developed for it, a hand cannon. Many believe this is the most powerful firearm in the world. By the way, it is quite popular among private fans of large calibers and wealthy enthusiasts of recreational shooting. Besides the, let's say, not-so-gentle recoil, the rifle is distinguished by its high mass. Its weight ranges from 36 to 50 kilograms, and its size you can assess for yourself in the video. In general, its use for sport shooting, and especially military operations, is not very feasible yet. What development this project will see in the future, time will tell. With the previous models, one can quite effectively counter enemy snipers, helicopters, and lightly armored vehicles. But with the 14mm American SOP, Special Operations Purpose, one could probably go after a Tyrannosaurus Rex if they still existed. The caliber might not seem the most impressive, but the muzzle energy of this weapon is about 60 kilojoules, and the effective firing range reaches 5 kilometers. The bullet of this rifle's cartridge has a high aspect ratio and weighs about 110 grams, but perhaps the most amazing thing is the claimed grouping accuracy of the weapon. Half a minute of angle at a distance of about 2,700 meters. It was originally developed for ultra-long-range sports shooting, and for obvious reasons, it hasn't found application in the Army.